Hey everybody. So today, the Anti-Bright tweeted me something that he also tweeted to Secular Talk. It was an article penned by Donna Brazil, which is an excerpt from her new book that's coming out, because of course she's selling a book that's going to make a lot of money and expose all the secrets from behind the scenes, right? Yeah, and basically she's talking about the Hillary Victory Fund. Same thing I talked about, for months leading up to the primary in the DNC in 2016. Basically telling everyone that Hillary had an edge and Bernie had no chance. And I said this for months and people didn't believe me. But I explained the mechanism of it, and in this excerpt, Donna Brazil is coming out with this information as if it's something new. And, I'm a little offended that people think that this is news a year after the election is over, when, for months I was talking about it. And I'm sure that especially the journalists at The Intercept, they probably are really pissed off, because they had been screaming at the top of their lungs about all this stuff, about how all the superdelegates, a lot of them were running for office in state elections, and the agreement with the Hillary Victory Fund was that she would win the primary, and have all this money funneled towards her campaign, and then after that, she would refill the coffers of all the DNC, basically, and help all of those people that pledged to support her. And that's how she took all the superdelegates before the primary had even started. They had already pretty much signed up to support her, right? Because she started campaigning earlier than Bernie. She's evil, right? So the problem I have with a lot of the characterizations I've seen of people reading into what Donna Brazil is saying is that a lot of people are saying that money that was donated to state funds, the state chapter of the Hillary Victory Fund, that should have been for the local candidates, and that was being funneled towards Hillary's campaign, and no. Let me tell you why. No, Hillary did not steal a thing. She bought it all. Okay? The DNC was bankrupted to the tune of millions, right? It was in debt, had no ability to promote anybody at any state level whatsoever. They were going to lose a whole bunch, and they had no big name stars, right? And name recognition means a lot. That year it meant everything, because the DNC couldn't raise any homegrown stars. They had to bring in outside help, right? They didn't see Bernie Sanders coming, right? They saw that they had no stars whatsoever, right? And why would they see Bernie Sanders coming? At that time, he was an independent. When all this dealing was done in 2015, Bernie Sanders was an independent and had been for fucking 30 years. And then after the fucking election's over, he goes back to being an independent. Why would they even count on him for anything, right? Hillary brings the money. She says, I'm going to fundraise this much money, and you guys are in debt, so I will agree to pay off this debt and fundraise as long as I get to call the shots. And you know what? When you have the money and when you have the backers, you get to call the shots. All right? All of that money that she was basically using loopholes to get around campaign finance reform, all of that money was intended for her. So when all these vloggers who are talking about this article as if all the news within it was something new and not something out before the primary was even over, and people like me weren't already talking about it, rags like The Intercept weren't already talking about it, when they're fucking talking about this as if it's news, and then they say, she took that money that should have been for candidates that were at the state and local levels. No, bullshit. That money was only there because of her name recognition and her big money donors that were friends of hers, right? They were just trying to get around campaign finance rules and using loopholes about how you can donate to different places and different states' funds and then have it all wind up in the same fund, all right? Without her, that money wouldn't have been there. So to say that she stole money from lesser candidates, fuck you, right? Let me just, as an analogy, bring in a sports analogy. Conor McGregor this week said that the next fight that he has, he wants to be co-promoter with the UFC. He now believes that his name is bigger than the company that made him, right? And what did Dana White, the president of the UFC, say? Oh, we always come to terms with Conor McGregor. Fucking folded like a lawn chair, right? Because Conor McGregor brings in the money, right? And if he wants a bigger share of the money, he's going to get it. He went off and fought against Mayweather, and now he's worth millions more than he was before. He has name recognition. Same name recognition that Hillary Clinton brought to the table in 2015 when no other plausible candidate that the DNC saw was possibly going to be able to bring in the fundraising dollars to be able to pay off their debts, right? And the Bernie backers, right, they're all about, oh, we don't like corporate funds. We don't like corporate funds. And then they want to whine now and say, the DNC was rigged. We didn't have a level playing field in the DNC, right? They're whining about wanting an equal seat at the table in a machine that was built by corporate money, right? They're whining about wanting a share of Hillary's money because you know what? The DNC was nothing without Hillary. Okay? Her money propped it up. If not for her money, it would have dissolved into debt in 2016. How much of a playing field do you want out of a pie that's already been eaten? You know? Fuck you. The hypocrisy of it. Oh, we don't want corporate money. We're raising our own money, you know, $30 per person with small money donations from the people. But we want an equal seat at the table at this corporate-built machine that brings in millions of dollars from big donors. And we want to be able to enjoy the fruits of that while also saying that we are for the people. You know, the corporate money is what fucking built the DNC, and they're whining about wanting to have a bigger say in how things go on there. And then they, out of the other fucking side of their mouth, they want to say, oh, but we only take small money donations. We're just as Democrats. Fuck you. You know what? Build your own fucking party built on small money donations and see how fucking far it goes. You know? If you have that much fucking faith in it, don't fucking try to co-opt a party that was built on corporate donations and then fucking try to stay on your fucking high horse.